All right, we just saw the NBA Finals. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I told
won
you.
in Game 7. Questionable with Tyrese Haliburton getting hurt. Don't act like that wouldn't make anything.
Yes, it would have. It would make a difference.
Yet they went 7 games.
No, I agree.
Okay, so it would have made a difference. So your point is defeated.
You still would have won.
Anyways, Bobby, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I actually was telling Benny the same thing yesterday that you just said. The exact same thing. If OKC were the best team, why did it take them 7 games to beat an Indiana Pacer team?
I agree, but a win's a win.
Why?
A 5 seed
Yeah.
Indiana Pacer team, and you're the best team out west, and it takes you 7 games to win.
I'm not saying that I don't disagree with you guys. I just don't think it would have mattered as much. Yes,
why?
the game would have been close. Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, mental lapses. You know what I mean? Like, the Thunder had mental lapses. J-Dub didn't show up as much. He was inconsistent at times. Chet Holmgren did his
He was
thing.
dropping like 25, 30 points per game.
The first few games, he was a little inconsistent.
A little?
Yeah, but then he stepped up when he needed to.
He stepped up. That's what I'm saying. He stepped up. I'm just saying, look, like, what does this show about the Oklahoma City Thunder? That they can compete. However, like, I have question marks after against Indiana Pacers took him 7 games. That's where I'm like, I don't know, man.
Let's be honest. If the Pacers had won that game and not choked it away, they would have won the title.
Yeah, they would have.
Which
one? Game 1.
Game 1?
No, Game 2.
Game 4.
Was it
Game 4?
3.
It was Game 3.
No, it had to have been Game 4.
It was Game 4.
It was Game 4.
Oh, yeah,
I remember it was Game 4.
If they hadn't choked it, the Pacers would have won that title.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Easy.
without a doubt. Yeah.
But I do.
But you say OKC's the best team, and yet you agree with us.
No, I agree with you guys, but I still think the Thunder
All
would
right,
have won it.
point proven. All right, let's move on. Congratulations to the OKC Thunder.
I was gonna say too about the Indiana Pacers. To your point, Isaac. I think that if Tyrese Haliburton hadn't went down with that lower leg injury, but I look like Achilles injury. But if he hadn't gone down with that injury, I thought it would have been a different ball game. Because Tyrese started the game 3 of 4. He was on fire to begin the game.
Oh, that's nothing, right, Benny? Nothing. 3 of 4.
I think if Tyrese played, I think it could have made a difference.
It could have. Like I said, the game probably would have been closer, but I still would have taken the Thunder. I don't know why you guys look at me all dumb.
Because you're saying the OKC is this dominant force, but it took them 7 games to be a technically weaker.
That's not what you said yesterday, man. That's not what you said yesterday.
A win's a win. Yeah, he did. A win's a win.
All right, man.
All right, win's a win.
Congratulations to the OKC Thunder.
I mean, shout out to J-Dub for balling out in those key games.
Shout out to Sam Presti too, man, for building that roster, man.
It's a hell of a GM.
But it begs the question. Yes, they won the title. Is there an asterisk since Tyrese got hurt?
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, it's a valid point.
That's a very valid point.
Someone has to ask the question.
At the end of the day, a title is hard. It doesn't matter. A title is hard to achieve at the NBA level.
Banner number 19. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's coming
Mr.
soon.
Confident since last offseason.
It's coming soon.
I don't think it really, in my opinion, I don't think it was an asterisk because if you look at the series that the Thunder played, they played in the first round Grizzlies. You could say, okay, they're the Grizzlies team. They were going. Taylor Jenkins fired. Yeah, we can say all that. Second round, they played a Denver Nuggets team.
That was impressive.
That was impressive. A young Thunder team taking that Nuggets team to a 7-game series. Then they play the Wolves. We all said the Wolves were going to come out the West. That was my honest thought. Yeah. And they went out and probably beat them in what, 6 games?
5
games?
5 games.
And then they play an Indiana Pacers team where we all said it was going to be. Me and you said it, Benny. It was a 5-game series. I thought the Pacers were going to win in 6. And
you said 7.
And you said sweep. I remember
sweep.
you.
I remember said sweep. He said 7 with Indiana. We'll just make that clear.
You said 6, right, Isaac?
I said 6.
He said,
Isaac said 6.
I swear to God.
6.
I swear to God, you said 7.
Come on, Benny.
Anyways, congratulations to OKC.
Bottom line is, this is not an asterisk title for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No.
I think they deserved it. And the way they played this year proved that they're the best team in the NBA. And there's no closer team except the Houston Rockets.
Hold on. No.
Potentially Houston
Before
Rockets.
we even tail off into that, you know what I mean? I want to get to the point now. You know, obviously Haliburton goes down with the Achilles, which is rough. I mean, you know, it sucks, man. I applaud the guy for showing up and playing through his right calf strain. However, this begs the question for Indiana: what happens now? What's going to happen now?
It's going to be a gap year.
Yeah,
Huge gap
just
year,
like Jason Tatum.
I mean, look, like, what happens with Miles Turner's free agency? What happens? He's gone.
You signed him.
He's leaving. I think he's leaving.
Why would he leave?
I think he's leaving.
Where is he going to go?
He might go to the Indiana. He might not Indiana Page. He might go to the Detroit Pistons. I can see him out in Detroit. I can see him out in Detroit.
I could see that too. I could see him leaving, but I don't know if he'd go to Detroit.
We'll save that for a later episode. During the offseason, we can discuss what moves need to be done throughout the season.
Yeah, but you know, it's just one of those things.
As I said, we'll discuss it in another episode.
I don't know why you hate, bro.
As I'm saying, we'll discuss that in another episode. Don't give away free content in this episode.
Haters.
Yeah, we gotta start charging them, man. We're gonna start charging for this bonus content.
All right.
Benny.
So
Come on, man.
there was a report that KD could be traded today or tomorrow. It was today. KD's now the Rocket Man. He got traded for Dillon Brooks,
Jalen Green,
5 second-round picks, and the number 10 pick.
Second round picks?
Hey, man, second-round picks talk now.
Yeah.
It's all about the luxury tax.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
It was interesting. In the group chat, one of you said it was an L for Houston. Who was that?
That was me.
That was Benny.
Why?
I don't know, man. Look, like,
Okay, you cannot just say that and just not come up with facts here, man. We're going to ask you why.
It's not facts, it's opinions. Like, come on, keep it real. Look, I mean, for the Houston Rockets to get to where they were at, obviously they finished second in the West, which was really impressive. I just didn't think that they needed to give up Brooks and Green. I could see give up Green, but really Dillon Brooks. I thought Dillon Brooks was more valuable than Jalen Green.
Time out. I have to call you out on that. You're like, Jalen Green was a superstar. Did you not say a few episodes ago? Did he not say that?
You said it, Betty. You said it.
Did you not say Jalen Green was a superstar for Houston Rockets?
Well, yeah, I said what I said, but I mean, I can see why they let him go.
An inefficient scoring guard was a superstar. Please explain that to me.
I was talking about Albert Şengün too on the whole Rockets.
No. You said Jalen Green. You clearly said Jalen Green.
I never said that.
Yes, you
if
did,
I said
Benny.
it, I
Yes,
said
you
it.
did.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Can I please proceed with my story?
Go ahead, Benny.
Can I please proceed? Jeez, bro, why are you so?
Because I expect a good argument. I'm like, no, I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Well, look, like you know, for the Houston Rockets, that core, I thought, you know, they could have just added maybe one more piece. I didn't think KD was the solution. They were good as is. I thought they were always good with that current roster construction. Maybe add another bench piece right there. You know, play Cam Whitmore a little bit more. You shouldn't have broken up that core for KD. They sacrificed a lot of defense right there. I mean, yes, they have Amen Thompson.
Defense. They still got Tari Eason and Amen Thompson.
Is Tari Eason starting?
He can start.
He's gonna most likely start now.
Jabari Smith Jr.
starting.
Can start.
Jabari Smith Jr. is going to start.
Either way, you still have defense. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about on
that.
the wings, man. I'm talking about on the wings.
Aren't Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr. both forwards and wings?
All right. Hey, man.
Okay.
If you guys laugh at me right now, man, I'm just saying. I think it's an L for Houston.
The Phoenix Suns were going to be a number 1 seed, right?
I said top 3. Corrected, Isaac. Corrected.
All right. So you said Jalen Green. They're like, oh, he shot 42% from the field. He got 21 points. He shot 35% from 3. About 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
42% from the field. Oof.
Now you're telling me KD, who shoots 53% from the field, 43% from three-point range, averages 6 rebounds, averages 5 assists, and scores 27 with efficiency, is not going to help the Houston Rockets?
I'm not saying it won't help the Houston Rockets.
You just said it wasn't going to help the Houston Rockets.
I never said it wasn't going to help.
Yeah,
I never said it wasn't going to help. I just thought that you know, Houston didn't need to give up Dillon Brooks.
It's a gamble. Look, I'm gonna just say this for Houston. It's a gamble because you're taking a risk on a 36, 37-year-old player
who's had an significant injury history, but he's still playing at a high level.
That's what I'm saying.
A 50, 40, 90 player.
It's still KD.
So I see where you're coming from, but it's not an L for Houston because they needed a number one scorer. They finished 12th last season in offense.
KD's going to jump him to, what, 6th?
Yeah, 6th. And their three-point shooting, they were one of the worst three-point shooting teams out in the league.
But you're still going to take Jalen Green.
And they need it. They
and
needed
Dillon Brooks.
They really needed Kevin Durant. They needed that number one option. And, Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks, now Jalen Green goes out to Phoenix.
The word is he's going to be rerouted to another team because I don't think he fits in Phoenix well.
Yeah, and that's my point. I don't think Jalen Green fits in Houston because he's just basically going to be playing alongside Booker. That means you have to shift Booker to the 1, then you have to put Green at the 2.
It doesn't work.
And adds just extra stress on Booker.
No, I see that.
And Dillon Brooks gives the Phoenix Suns that much needed defense out in the wing.
Yeah, I know Brooks is staying out there, so but like I said, it's just a gamble.
5 second round picks for me. That's a pretty good. That's a bargain for Kevin Durant.
They didn't give up Jabari Smith. They didn't give up Cam Whitmore. They didn't give up Reed Shepard. They didn't give up
Tari
Şengün. Eason. You're saying their defense got worse?
That's a win.
All right, we'll see next year. That's all I'm gonna say.
The problem is Kevin Durant on the Phoenix Suns was doing way too much, as I said. Now he doesn't have to play as much defense. They can hide his perimeter, but the only thing is, I have questions about Udoka with his offensive schemes because you can attest to this. When they were in the finals, Jason Tatum could not get a shot off. He could not draw an offensive set for Jason Tatum when you guys faced the Warriors. Did you not?
No.
That is my only concern. The offensive. He's a great defensive coach, but the offense, can he create an offensive system around KD, Van Vliet, and
KD, Van Vliet, Şengün, yeah.
That's my main question. I don't question him on defense, but no one talked about the issues Tatum had because let's be honest, you guys should have won that finals, but Tatum got locked down. He could not get a shot off. He struggled to get a shot.
Yeah, he did.
And alongside that is Kevin Durant's older. Yeah. You need to get free throws.
Yeah.
He doesn't attack the basket as much.
That's what I'm saying. I have some hesitations.
And then
thanks for answering all of my hesitations, you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we had to give you reason because you couldn't pull it out of your own brain. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
yes, this is us doing homework, Benny.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Apply a little common sense.
But,
come on now.
If it's so common sense, why didn't you say it?
Common sense isn't so common.
I can tell. But where do you think Houston lands? It actually reunites him with Steven Adams. No one's talking about that. I just realized that.
Yeah, I didn't think about it till you mentioned it. I think that they're probably gonna be one of the top 3 teams out west. Now, will they contend with OKC? Possibly.
It depends.
Possibly.
It's up there.
Possibly
it's debatable. It's debatable.
I feel they still need a bench piece though.
But my question is out west, who else is out there that can compete?
Oh, one more question. Who's the leader of the Houston Rockets? It obviously can't be Kevin Durant.
I say Van Vliet.
Probably the closest.
It's got to have to be. It's Van Vliet.
It has to be.
That'll be
Van Vliet or Steven Adams.
It's Van Vliet, for sure. I think especially now he's got that championship experience too. Bringing in with KD.
Yeah.
That West got
back
deeper,
to your
though.
question, Bobby. You said who's in the West to compete? If the Nuggets make a move, maybe, possibly. There's the Nuggets.
The Wolves.
I don't know if the Wolves can take down the Rockets, man.
No, I'm not saying they can.
But they can compete. But Anthony Edwards, let's be honest, he probably needs another running mate other than Julius Randle, unfortunately.
Yeah, Julius. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Julius Randle shipped off this offseason.
I wouldn't really be surprised.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Lakers could retool. Oh, we'll get into that later. The Lakers are a possible contender. OKC's obviously the top contender. Denver. But after that, it gets really shaky. Warriors, it was a small sample size, but if everyone can stay healthy. I think the
Warriors could really be a top 5 seed out west next year.
But what do they do with Jonathan Kuminga? That's the question.
That's the thing, at this point, we don't know what we don't know. We'll know after July 1st. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sign and trade with Kuminga.
But what is the ceiling of this Houston Rockets team now with Kevin Durant?
I still say top 3.
Top 3 out west.
Are we talking about like
How far
how
can they go in the
far they can
playoffs?
go? Oof. I'm gonna say
Some people said first round exit. I don't understand that.
I'm gonna say a second round exit.
I'm in agreement. It's either second round exit or Western Conference Finals exit.
I could see Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, it'd be a
But,
stretch. It'd be a stretch.
Also a second round exit.
Yeah, I could see second round exit.
It just depends on their matchup.
I just agree with Isaac. I just think Houston just needs another bench piece.
Yeah, that's why
They need another bench
That's what I
piece.
said. If they add another bench piece, I think they're going to be good. I mean, obviously this free agency market, we'll know after next week, or in a couple weeks with free agency and stuff.
I realize why Benny couldn't think. He doesn't have his do-rag on.
Well, bro,
had to take it off
what's
this
with the
weekend.
hate, bro? What's with the hate?
You're having us literally carry you with your arguments.
thank
like,
you, bro.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
thank
like,
you.
really? You don't know?
Yeah, because I couldn't finish my sentence, but thank you for interrupting.
What do you mean?
me.
You said, I don't know.
Well,
That's not an
yeah,
answer.
well, you could let me finish my sentence, bro.
You were literally
Hey,
like, I don't
Houston
know.
took an L without even backing it up.
Time out. Like, is this gonna be me? Y'all bagging me, or we gonna sit here and
Who's
stay on
bagging
topic?
you? I'm not bagging you.
This dude is right here, bro.
I'm just
Come
telling
on.
you, man. You
Come on,
gotta
bro.
back up your facts, man.
Well,
Don't
true.
just
That's
say
what I just
L.
said. That's what I
Yes,
just said. Well,
you said or
pardon
we
me
said?
if I was in the middle of doing something when I sent the text.
But yeah,
Houston took an L.
you automatically assume it's an L. Without that much thinking, you must have had some
All right.
reason in your head.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep this note.
I basically
this
answered.
note.
I basically answered Benny's question.
But also too, like we're gonna look back at this, and if the Rockets don't make it, which I doubt, but if they do, I'm gonna laugh at you, and I'm gonna laugh at you.
Why?
All right,
Great.
Because I said
That's
Houston's
cool.
gonna take an L.
We'll look up our facts and we'll be like, oh,
Great.
I don't know what happened.
Great.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. L, W, Z, X, Y.
L.
All right. Speaking of the West, let's transition into the Lakers. We were going to talk about you guys
great.
were sold.
I was happy when the Lakers sold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when Mark
10
Waltz
billion?
bought the Lakers for $10 billion.
More than the Celtics.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let's be honest, Bobby. As a Lakers fan, the Lakers skimped on free agents. Let's be honest. They
Yeah,
skimped on
they
free
did.
agents, staff members, and everything. The Buzz
Yeah.
family, they weren't like exactly the most luxurious spenders, except for the Russell Westbrook experiment, which failed miserably.
It did fail miserably.
But now you have a competent owner who has background with the Dodgers, building a championship
what I'm-
team, spending the money necessary.
And I think
that's
under
what
his
I'm
reign,
saying.
the Dodgers got 3
That's
rings.
what I'm saying.
got
That's
three
what I'm
rings.
saying.
That-
2 or
I
3
think
rings. That's why I was so excited when the Lakers were finally sold, because they needed a reset button. Mark Walters, you mentioned it. 3 titles for the Dodgers. Imagine what he's going to do for the Lakers.
He's not afraid to spend. He spent
Yeah.
money on the Dodgers, which is what the
Yeah.
Lakers need to do.
Yeah, Mark Walters. Really, I think this is a great week to be a Laker fan, because this offseason is going to be an interesting offseason. I think the Lakers are going to swing for some free agents. They're going to make some low key moves that we don't know about, like the Luka Doncic deal they did. So it's a great time to be a Laker fan. It is. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to next season.
I could see them as a possible contender if they make the right moves this
Yeah.
offseason with needing a big man, more perimeter defense, possibly LeBron if he takes a pay cut, which I don't think
But
so.
as I've always discussed too, right now their best trade piece is Rui Hachimura,
Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I don't know why you're looking at me like that,
Yeah.
bro.
There's Austin Reeves.
Austin
no,
Reeves
they're
is not
not-
going.
they're not gonna trade
Austin
him.
Reeves is not
Are
going
you guys
anywhere.
going to pay him a max in like a year?
They probably will. Lakers will probably pay him a max.
He's
They
not
will.
with the
I would
max. He's not
trade
with the
him.
max. I'm sorry. He's
You
not with
guys
the
got to
max.
get rid of Vando.
Yeah.
the
No, but
love
I'm
of
just
Pete.
saying right now, I'm obviously
Rui Hachimura.
yeah, well, he is, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, he can stretch the floor. No, but seriously, like I think that the Lakers, if they make a few moves, they could definitely make some noise out west. I mean, they really definitely need to shore up that big, because Jackson Hayes at year 5 is being your being your center, and and starting center is not working out. They got to make some moves. So I saw obviously reports of them going after possibly John Collins. Not sure that really covers up anything. Maybe somebody like a Clint Capella would probably be a little bit better.
I've seen reports where you guys are connected to Naz Reid, Miles Turner.
Walker Kessler.
That's what I'm saying. Miles Turner
But-
could end up out there.
What would you have to trade in order to get Walker Kessler?
Whew. At that point, you'd have to at least give up Rui, Gabe, Dalton.
You would have to give up
Dalton.
Reeves. Ainge ain't gonna make it easy on you
Reeves
guys.
for John Collins.
No, for Kessler.
Kessler.
Pay attention, man.
I think that would be an unfair. I think that would be an unfair deal for the Lakers.
That's highway
I don't
robbery.
know.
Danny
I
Ainge
can't see
hates
that.
the Lakers, man.
I know he does.
Well, how about this? Let me propose to you a scenario, okay? Say LeBron takes a backseat, and obviously Luka's going to do his thing, right? If Austin Reeves puts up 22, 23 a game, are you paying him the max? Answer the question. Oh, now I got you.
Now you hesitated.
Now I got you.
Didn't I ask him a few minutes ago?
Yeah,
Didn't I ask him, are they going to pay him the max?
Exactly.
Now he's pausing.
Exactly. I see your point, though.
No. Look, I mean, Austin Reeves this year put up career numbers. Okay.
Okay.
He
What
put up-
did he
put
do
up
in the
20
playoffs?
points. He disappeared in the playoffs.
Okay, then.
So obviously, it's a small sample size, so we know his playoff history, right? He tends to kind of disappear in the bigger moments. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but is he worth the max? Are you sitting here and telling me that, hey, Mr. Austin Reeves, I'm gonna give you 5 years, 200, whatever
I'm just
million
gonna
dollars?
be. I'm just gonna be real with you. I love Austin Reeves, but I really don't think he's worth the max.
Thank you.
What did I tell you?
I don't
Yeah,
think he's worth the
man.
max.
Yeah.
I love him, but he's not worth the
Didn't
max.
he just recently sign a contract, 4 years for 40-some million?
48 million. He's
4 years.
coming up on a
He's
player
got,
option.
He's got a bargain. That was a bargain contract. But
Yeah, well, the Lakers got figured it out because it's like, at this point, are you willing to pay him the max?
But see, the thing is, though, I think the Lakers would be willing to pay Austin Reeves the max because of this scenario. Because when LeBron retires, it's just going to be Luka Doncic.
And LeBron ain't retiring anytime soon.
But it's going to be LeBron. When LeBron
we don't know
retires, LeBron's gone, and you trade Reeves. Who else is there? It's just Luka Doncic and who else? And that's what I'm saying. So I think the Lakers
Draft capital.
would pay Austin Reeves the max to keep them. But in my opinion, I wouldn't give Austin Reeves the max because he's not worth the
So
the
then
max.
at this point, you would trade him.
You guys just got to build around Luka
At this point, yeah, because like I said, Austin Reeves, he's going to be a valuable piece anywhere. He's a bona fide number one on any other team, and you know that, and I know that.
Realistically, I could see him out in Brooklyn.
Ugh.
I can see him being number one in Brooklyn.
a poverty franchise. But I mean, no, he makes sense.
For a Claxton or Cam Johnson. with
Yeah,
some
but,
picks.
I mean, I would-
I'd see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me that was the move that happened in the offseason for the Lakers, okay, that's a win. I'll say that's a win. Yeah, because you got rid of Austin Reeves because that's one less headache you got to deal with. Now you got to figure out after that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, congrats to the Lakers, man, on that sale. But, they got some key question marks that they got to figure out.
Yeah, excited for the Lakers this offseason. Going to see how they do. But it was a much-needed reset for the Lakers, for that Laker franchise. Because, I was telling Benny the other day, too. Remember what I was telling you about the amount of Laker players that were drafted? Darius Garland,
Oh,
DeAndre
man, that's
Hunter,
a first
Julius
five.
Randle,
That's a whole-
McDaniels.
Tony Bradley, Josh Hart, Thomas Bryant.
Oh, my God.
It's like,
Y'all traded
Brandon
them away.
Ingram,
Yeah. Lonzo
Ball. Like, I look at that and I'm like, God damn.
That's a first five
Lakers,
right there.
That's
and a
literally
bench.
a first five.
And a bench. And a bench. Man.
And it all happened when LeBron came to town, unfortunately.
So are we saying LeBron's the problem? Answer the
I
question.
think LeBron's the problem in terms of the salary cap.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Management didn't really have a lot to say. They were too cheap to spend the money.
Yeah.
Too.
I just
I'm
don't think.
sure
I just
LeBron
don't
was
think
saying
two.
some
I just
things.
don't think two management had the balls to stand up to LeBron. I really don't.
It's LeBron James, but yes, I do agree, because there's some things where it's like, come on, man, seriously? Like, it's like, granted, yeah, they fleeced the Mavericks, but, it's like, come on, man. I thought they could have done better.
I agree.
I mean, is there anything else we need to talk about? We have the draft coming up.
Oh, yeah, the draft is coming up.
Do you
man.
expect any big-time trades?
I would be surprised.
Prior to the draft?
Yeah, there's going to be some.
There's gonna be something.
But hey, how do you guys feel about it being a 2-day event now? How do we feel about that?
Okay, we
I'm
need to
just
stop
curious.
with these 2-day events, man. They just need to do it one day. Stop dragging this out. We all know it's about money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yep.
I just keep it one day. NBA is such a copycat league. Now they're taking what the NFL's doing, which I get, but it's like.
But also, plus, we already know who's going to go number one. It's like it's no surprise, right? We already know. I think the storyline.
Yeah, I don't think this is a big surprise, but isn't just ironic how the Mavs got the number 1 overall pick?
We all know it was rigged.
Yeah, it was all rigged.
rigged.
Yeah, nobody can say anything different.
Yeah. But hey, when Cooper Flagg's name gets called, it'll be interesting who goes to all the way up to what, like 60? Yeah, or 58, whatever. It'll be really interesting.
Ace Bailey, Dillon Harper. What do you guys think about Ace Bailey, honestly, with his avoiding the workouts, like not really scheduling any workouts because he wants to kind of like choose his destination?
Because he wants to go to. I heard reports he wants to go to an East Coast team.
Yeah, I heard
look,
that
at
too.
this point, man. Look, I'm put it in the perspective of somebody who's never been in the league. Like, think about it, you guys. If you guys had the opportunity, and you guys were super talented, and you know you're gonna be a lottery pick, wouldn't you be like, yo, I'm excited to see where I go? You know what I mean? Like, I'd be excited. I don't care where I go.
Well, here's the thing: like agents, like they influence the players. Let's be honest, because if wherever they get drafted, they get a piece of that pie.
But also too, like even if obviously with the agent thing, but like think about it. Would you guys be excited to go wherever? I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I would be excited. But this kid has got to prove something. If he's sitting here saying, I don't want to go to this team, this team, this team, this team.
All right, so it's like, all right, you better be that good.
Yeah.
You better
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at what Josh Jackson did in the draft. Was it 2017?
That backfired so bad.
He skipped off a workout. I think it was with the Celtics and numerous teams. He skipped off a workout. What happened? He fell to Phoenix. How's he doing now?
Out of the league.
Not even in the league.
Exactly my point. You see what I'm saying? So you better be sold on the fact that this kid's good. And I have no question that Ace Bailey's going to be great, right?
Right.
I wouldn't say great, but good. But, we got to see him play in the league. But, this guy must be saying, I'm the best player in the draft. They're better than Cooper Flagg. But he wants to go to East Coast teams, like either Philadelphia or New York. And I heard from a report somewhere that he was going to work out with the Sixers, but he wanted a guaranteed promise he'd end up there.
Who are you to ask for a promise?
Dude, you're a 19-year-old kid,
unless you're Cooper Flagg,
who's guaranteed live. He's going to Dallas.
Yeah.
He's got a mansion sitting out there. He's ready.
You're not doing that. Did you see how much Cooper Flagg made at NIL?
A lot of money.
Was it $25 million?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Poor athletes who couldn't make money before him.
But yeah,
see,
him,
you know what? We can save this conversation for another time because I got
That'll be the next episode. The NBA draft, our reaction and feelings, because it's going to happen on Wednesday when we drop this episode.
Man, I that's amazing.
I mean, it'll be interesting.
Million.
I feel Phoenix might do something, or hell, they might attach the 10th pick with Bradley Beal just to get him out of Phoenix, man.
But didn't they already attach the 10th pick? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They attached the 10th pick.
Phoenix will trade with the 10th pick to Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're saying they'll attach that pick? Yeah. Okay. I see what you're talking about.
Maybe they'll keep the player, but I don't know. It just depends. I feel they have no identity right now.
Also,
unfortunately,
too, if you really think about it, too, like and this is what reports I've been seeing, including Boston, Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis are someone to be on the lookout for because Phoenix doesn't have a point guard right now. Do you take a gamble on 35-year-old Drew Holiday? And you attach a pick?
Knowing the Phoenix Suns, yeah, they probably would do that.
Yeah,
what else do they got to lose?
Yeah, and then you can get maybe Kristaps and maybe a pick and attach that 10th pick, ship out Green or Beal, whoever, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
But then there's Beal who has to approve it, which is unfortunate because why would the Suns thinking they were going to be almighty and powerful?
Yeah.
Told you to.
Yeah.
Hey man. Well, I thought that I put some salt. I put salt in those words, and I just ate them, dipped them, and ate them. That's it.
Dip them in that it'll be an interesting draft. Do you guys see any trades happening? Spurs make any moves? Sixers make any moves?
Yeah, like I said, the Suns are making definitely moves.
I see the Suns making a move. I can honestly, I probably say the Lakers would sign Luka.
It's going to be some team that we don't know about. There's going to be some team that we don't know about that's been under the radar. And I also think that there's going to be these underrated moves with players and picks because it always happens in each year. There's always going to be some underrated moves that's going to be happening. I don't know where, but, we'll see.
Yeah, I see that.
What you got, honorable? What you got?
Not much. Welcome Cooper Flagg to Dallas just in case.
Yeah, well,
and if they trade him, then just I don't know what to do anymore. I can't.
Dallas, don't mess it up.
The reason why Luka was traded to the Lakers was just because the NBA wanted to make the Lakers relevant again.
They just want to make their money.
And that's the bottom line.
But anyway, that's not here nor there.
We got Luka.
Once again, congratulations to the OKC They have won their first title.
2025
Kevin
NBA
Durant.
champs.
What does that do? What does that do to Kevin Durant's legacy in OKC?
And we'll leave that there for another episode.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Wow, that was interesting.